I'm joined here in the studio by Onchan MHK Julie Edge. Very interesting House of Keys on Tuesday. This story keeps going on. I've had a go. Now you're going for another go at the whole subject of line-by-line rebuttal by David Ashford, Minister for Health and Social Care, on what was said and implied in your PAC by Dr. Rachel Glover. If I got that right. She said things, he said he was going to make a rebuttal. His staff are too busy over the whole weekend or Easter, whatever it was. It went on forever. But anyway, he hasn't, as far as I'm aware, certainly not to me, produced that line-by-line rebuttal. You, as I said, you've now got a question in House of Keys on Tuesday. What exactly are you asking? What do you expect to hear?
Obviously, I'm not doing that as Public Accounts Committee because that's separate work that will be reported on. I'm doing it down to what was stated in press briefings, and it was quite clear that the Minister said he would do a line-by-line rebuttal, and it would be published. So.
And you asked that in the PAC thing as well. Very clearly you asked that, didn't you?
And obviously the public are waiting for that, and Dr. Glover's waiting for that. And, if it's not going to be produced, be open, honest, transparent, which is what this government's supposed to be about, and say it can't be published because, or if it's going to be published when. I think we were told the end of the week at that point in time, and it's 6 weeks later, I think, near enough.
I'm trying to remember what you said in my interview. I almost like I've really said it all to PAC, so I don't need to release anything more now, but were you happy with what you heard? Or do these conflict? Are you allowed to talk about that?
No, I won't talk about the committee. What I'm interested in is what he said at press briefings to the public. Not all the public listening to committee work. That's totally different, separate work. And it certainly shouldn't be used as an excuse for not doing what was announced to the public.
So, again, what do you think you're going to hear on Tuesday? Will you expect it actually be handed one there and then, or a timetable for it being released, or more sort of these are not the droids you're looking for sort of thing?
What I've found quite often, Paul, when you put a question in, because obviously our questions are in 10 days before, sort of thing, the Monday before the following week, and what I've found is if you put a question in, quite often the government likes to come out first and say, we've done this, before you even get round to asking your question. I'd like to think that's what will happen. I'm not so sure it will in this occasion. So. Well,
we're recording this on Friday, so time's running out. Then you often get a very helpful minister standing up and deflecting the whole question with something nice and platitudes and that sort of thing. That must be quite annoying, isn't it, when it gets thrown off targets? It
is, but that's where your role as an MHK comes in, and you just have to keep persistent and keep going at the point and saying, this is what the public, you've said you will deliver to the public, you'll publish it, so that's what's required.
So any time before Tuesday morning, if it's
been
released, that nullifies your question almost, does it?
Yeah.
Do you have to go ahead with the question, or can you withdraw it?
Well, you can, but it certainly happened.
Follow-ups.
It's happened on a number of occasions. So that's the value of questions for the public. Its constituents want you to ask a question, you ask it, and hopefully you get the answers.
Are you expecting an answer?
I'm not sure, really. I hope so. That's the whole point of question time. They have to give the most accurate answer that they can. So.
Okay, and while you're here, we need to talk quickly about the Liverpool landing stage, which is still also up in the air, isn't it? What question are you coming up there?
Well, I've got a couple of questions in this week with regards to the impact assessment that was carried out on the half-tide dock, because obviously we heard at the last House of Keys sit-in the week before Tynwald that there is additional costs to the people of the Isle of Man because of the scouring and the new vessel. So I'm also concerned that has that been carried out at Heysham for the new vessel, and has it been carried out in Douglas, or are we going to see costs and changes there?
It's got all the hallmarks of something that's going to drag on a bit further than the anticipated timeline.
Yeah, but to me, a strategy, and the Minister wasn't clear as to what discussions had taken place with the steam packet on the new vessel. But to me, a new vessel shouldn't have been purchased without us knowing that our harbours and ports were capable of taking the vessel, or what the value of the works that was required. And this is where scrutiny of government is needed.
So that whole feeling of drip about it, things keep coming out, delays and costs, of course, the costs again.
Hopefully it's not going to be another promenade.
Right. Well, just for clarity and transparency, just to make it quite clear, Julie Edge has already announced her candidacy as standing in the elections in September, but is here asking questions quite legitimately, and that's why we talk still to MHKs at the moment until the big cut-off period. But anyway, we'll see how it all goes.
Yeah. Thank you.